If you want to attract the right kind of women in your life without having to do hundreds of cold approaches like an NPC, then you need to understand a little bit about Venezuelan oil. The country of Venezuela has the largest oil reserve in the world, but the country is still poor because this oil is in crude state. It is not processed properly. It is just in a latent reserved state. Now, what the United States is planning to do is it is going to send many oil companies. All these oil companies are going to be drilling out this oil reserve. This oil is going to be processed and then it is going to be sold at a very high price. So the problem is not with the potential, it is with the processing. Similarly, you already have everything that you want inside of your depth of consciousness. The problem is you have not been able to access that state out of the depth of your consciousness because you do not know how to imagine and how to feel. Most people think that in order to attract the right kind of women, they need money, looks, status, social skills, outer game techniques. But what you have to understand is your physical reality, which means your life circumstances, events, situations, and even people in your life always respond to your imagination and your emotions. This is why yogis call our physical reality as Maya. Maya means illusion or a magical lie. Your physical reality is an illusion because it completely responds to your own mental activities. And I understood this during COVID lockdown. That time I was dealing with anxiety, panic attacks, depression, and some days I felt like I just did not want to exist in this world anymore. I felt like my whole life is already predetermined by my past traumatic experiences and genetics. But by complete accident, I found this book called The Biology of Belief. This book introduced me to an idea that our emotional state is always either upregulating or downregulating our genetic expression, which means my body or my biology is subject to my own mind. When I learned this information, I immersed myself in the study of mind body connection. And all the experts of mind body connection were telling me the exact same thing. That is, my mind not only influences my body, but it is actually influencing my whole physical external reality. When I learned this information, it was not just interesting to me, it could actually explain my whole life. Because when I looked back, whenever I was drowning in the emotion of negativity or guilt for a sustained period of time, all of a sudden my life went to crap. Relationships started to become chaotic, people used to treat me bad, and life just felt like one big problem after another. Conversely, when I used to feel happy, confident, light, life used to feel a lot easier. People used to treat me nice, and relationships flowered. So this was not coincidence or this was not just random thing that I experienced. I figured that whatever goes on inside of my own internal world of thoughts, feelings, self-identity always shows up in my external world. When I understood this, I stopped going out. I stopped trying to cold approach women in order to attract them. I stopped reading all these weird psychology books in order to fix my mental health. I simply focused on changing my internal world. I learned how to meditate. And when I did that, my dating life became so easy and all these mental health problems started to lose their grip on me. So, when you hear the word meditation, you do not have to think of a guy who is at the top of Himalayas just breathing and doing hand mudras. Meditation is just a way to access the depth of your consciousness. Meditation teaches you to imagine wonderful things happening to you, and it teaches you to feel elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, victory, so that whatever you have imagined actually gets externalized into your physical reality. Now, let me tell you an uncomfortable fact. There are three levels of men in our world. The first level is what I like to call the uninitiate NPC. This guy does not know the power of his thoughts, the power of his emotions. He does not understand how powerful his consciousness is. He still thinks that money, looks, status, social skills are required for him to attract the right kind of women. And this is why his dating life sucks forever. The sad part is most men never ascend from this level to level 2. However, if life decides to initiate this guy, maybe by exposing him to these kinds of videos, then this guy has a chance to ascend to level 2. The level 2 man is what I like to call the awakening creator. Now, this guy starts to understand that his thoughts and his feelings, his imagination is always influencing his physical reality. So he learns how to meditate. He learns how to visualize wonderful things happening to him. He learns how to feel the elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, victory, satisfaction. But when he comes out of his meditation and opens his eyes, he immediately feels desperate for his desired outcome. He immediately checks his phone to see if that girl has texted him back or not. The third level of men, and this is where you should aspire towards, is what I like to call the master alchemist. This guy understands that feeling is the secret. He has learned how to do yoga nidra properly. If you do not know what yoga nidra is, it is a process where you guide your attention through your body parts one by one until you achieve a state of relaxation. This is when your breathing rate slows down, your brain waves slow down, you get an access to your subconscious mind. You can now rewrite your subconscious mind by visualizing wonderful things happening to you and feeling the elevated emotions. The master alchemist knows how to provide all the sensory vividness to his imaginal act. He can vividly imagine that the girl he wants is already in his arms. In his imaginal act, she is already complimenting him, saying things like, "Oh my God, you're so amazing." He can smell the perfume on this beautiful women's bodies in his own imaginal act. His brain starts to believe that all these wonderful things are happening to him in real time. He has a disciplined attention, so he can mentally rehearse this imaginal act over and over again until he starts to feel the elevated emotion of joy, gratitude, victory, satisfaction, and thrill. He can sustain these elevated emotions for a long period of time so that his imagination gets outpictured, externalized into his physical reality fast. And the best part is when he comes out of his meditation, he is not desperate. He lets go of the outcome. He lets the world reshuffle itself until everything that he has visualized and felt actually starts to materialize in his physical reality. He confidently expects that all of his visualizations must happen in his life. Now, if you want to experience what it is like to become a master alchemist, I have created the emotion pill. It is a 6-minute guided meditation that is going to teach you how to do yoga nidra properly, how to visualize properly and provide all the sensory vividness to it, how to feel and sustain the elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, victory, satisfaction, so that your imagination gets outpictured into your physical reality fast. Not only that, you are going to learn what to do before you even sit down to meditate, and you're going to learn how to come out of meditation properly, because you do not want to be desperate right after your meditation session ends. Because if you just become desperate right after your meditation, you are just canceling out all the elevated emotions that you felt in your meditation session. This way, you're just repelling all these wonderful imaginal acts away from you. They are not going to materialize in your life. That's not the correct way to meditate. Now, this emotion pill is just 6 minutes long, and it is designed in such a way that you do not have to struggle like I struggled. The access to this guided meditation is $100. If you want it, send me a text in the Gmail that is present in the pinned comment section and the description box. Now, I also offer one-to-one personalized premium coaching for a few men who are ready to upgrade their dating life in the fastest rate possible. These men have already gotten some sort of monetary success in their life, but they are frustrated because they cannot get the right kind of women in their life effortlessly. And they have already applied all the superficial advice that society likes to give to men. Just go out, just cold approach women, just upgrade your social skills, just be confident. But they have come to realize that real attraction can only happen from the inside. So if you're ready to work with your subconscious mind, if you're ready to access the depth of your consciousness, if you want to use your imagination, emotions, and your attention to attract women naturally and effortlessly, this coaching is for you. Send me a text in the Gmail and we will get started fast.